With the updates to tournaments likely to be released soon, I want to go ahead and talk about tournaments and sandbagging. Now, I'm not going to go into the nuances of individual runs, but more the overall reward system for tournaments and why that causes people to sandbag. First, viewer discretion advised. This is just going to be my opinion. If you don't care about that, if that offends you, that's okay. Just go ahead and click off. Now, what is sandbagging? I'm going to explain this in the way that I know. So I'm a martial arts master, so we're going to be talking about this in terms of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's also color-coded, so that's going to help. So there's white belt, blue belt, purple belt, brown belt, and black belt, but we're just going to focus on the blue and purple belt. So it takes about 2 years to get a blue belt, 4 years to get a purple belt. A lot of people, they get to the latter end of their blue belt, about to get their purple belt, but they have a tournament coming up. They're at the peak of their blue belt game. Coach is going to hold them back, and they're going to compete with the other blue belts while they're at the level of a purple belt. But what does this mean for when you're in tournaments in the tower? So let's say instead of a blue belt, you have 2 ultimate weapons. Someone else has 4 ultimate weapons. That's going to help them get farther. Maybe you only have level 5 cards. They have max level cards. That's really going to help them in the long run of tournaments. So why sandbag? Well, more stones, more gems, less effort. I think that sums it up, so thank you guys so much. Alright, I'm kidding now. Let's talk about how we can fix this. So we have 3 options when it comes to fixing the whole tournament reward system. So we could penalize players, which is a horrible option. Why would we do that? We could incentivize players, which is going to be a great option. I think that could really reinvigorate the whole tournament scene, get a lot of people more active, more invested into their tournaments, and we could disincentivize people, which could work. Yeah, sure. Why not? So how would I fix this? First, penalizing. This is a horrible option. We're not even going to talk about this again. Incentivize. Alright, so we're going to increase the rewards in each tier to make the demotion not even worth it. And then to disincentivize, we're just going to make it more work than people want to put in. So why sandbag? So this is currently how the tournament reward systems are. On the left in the rows, you can see the tournament placings. In the columns, you can see all the tiers and the gems and stone rewards that you get. So we're going to first focus on the copper and silver, but I'll show this for each one of the different tiers. So we're going to start with copper and silver. There's 2 tournaments a week. So tournament 1, if you place first in copper, and tournament 2, if you place last in silver, to get demoted. We have place 8 in silver because the top 7 will get promoted, so they go to gold. So if you place top 8, you're going to get 120 gems and 40 stones. Comparing that to the, if we're sandbagging, that's 10 gems and 18 stones. Now if we place 9th and 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th to 15th, and 16th to 22nd, anything below that would be demotion, so sandbagging, so no need to show that. So as we can see, 9th and 10th, we don't really care about the gems too much. Stones is what we're really focused on. So 9th and 10th, that's when it's worth not sandbagging at. Anything lower than that, you're going to be losing stones, might as well sandbag. So as you can see, only 1/3 of the population doesn't need a sandbag. The other 2/3, they might as well sandbag. So here it is for silver and gold. Again, you can see 9th and 10th, that's the last place that stones is going to be positive. We have gold and platinum, and then platinum and champion. Feel free to pause it if you want to look at that in any more detail. So let's talk about incentivizing. So this is the current tournament system. Boo, it's old, it's boring, it's time for something new. Again, this is my opinion, they don't need to revamp it. Okay, so this is what I thought of. Overall, the gems and stones at tier 1 or rank 1, they stay the same. So there's no big change to how many gems and stones are coming into the game. There's still going to be a grind. Coming down, you have rank 2, 3, 4, now 5 to 8, that's a much bigger grouping, 9 to 15, and 16 to 22. We're grabbing a lot of the population into much bigger groups so that we're not having big disparities in our gems and stones. And down here in the 23 to 30, it's going to be much lower in your gems and stones. So if we look at the copper and silver, what I really like about this is between 16 and 22, you're looking at a break even. So you're not going to be getting any more than if you were sandbagging. If we look at 1 to 15 and all of these, you're getting a net positive. You're not going to see the 1, 2, 3, 4 down there because those are all getting promoted. But from 5 until 15, all of those are a win. 16 to 22, those are all going to be a break even, and 23 to 30, those are going to be a net loss. Now that is getting demoted, so I do think that that should actually be a loss, really incentivize you to stay in that league, put a lot more on the line. So here it is for silver and gold, gold to platinum, and platinum to champion. So let's talk about disincentivizing. So I think the big thing to disincentivizing is to make it too much work. So instead of 2 tournaments, one tournament to demote, I think we should up that up to 2. So as you can see, I have 3 tournaments listed. If you get demoted in both, that's what's going to take you down. So you can see instead of 9 and 10 being where you're that's the last place where the stones are positive, you're looking at 11 to 12. Now 13 to 15, that is kind of close to a break even. So if you're placing at 13, then you can try it in that second or third week, really try to go for 11 to 12 or 9 to 10 and still get into a positive. But this does make it to where more of the population doesn't have to sandbag, but I think still changing up the reward systems would be a lot better. So here it is in silver to gold, gold to platinum, and for platinum champion. So a few honorable mentions. I saw on the Reddit someone talking about bonus streaks for staying in a league. This seems like too much math, and I don't really want to handle that, so I'm just going to talk about that here. I think that could be a decent idea. Really incentivize you for staying in, and that would potentially reset on getting demoted, so it wouldn't really make it worth it. But if you just keep that going and going, might as well just do a permanent increase on the stone. So I think, again, going back to that incentivizing. And then penalties for repeat demotions, I think that again would hurt the player base, demoralize a lot of people, make them not even want to do tournaments, but feel more obligated to do the tournaments. Thank you guys so much. Go ahead and leave a comment down below on what you think should be done to the tournaments in order to make it more user-friendly, more playable, and more rewarding to stop sandbaggers. Go ahead and like and subscribe, and thank you so much.